Yo, yo, yo. Another episode of Player Life. It is Friday, the what is it? 27th, is it? 27th of November. God damn. Time is flying by. Um, let's see. Yeah, another day here in Tokyo. Let's see if anyone. It was kind of weird at the start when I'm just talking to myself. But yeah, another day in Tokyo, but kind of a different day, a little bit different from usual. So I went into work. I teach. Usually, I teach at a high school, like part time. Um, so I have to. I took this job. I took this job back in when was it? Back in August, just because I needed some part time job. Um, and I took this job at a private high school, on the condition that it was kind of you know the pay wasn't great, so I took it on the condition that it was going to be just in and out, not a heavy workload or whatever. But this school was just it's a really high end kind of private high school in Tokyo, but this school was really trying to rip me off. So today's the day. I just there was just they just pushed it too far, and I was like, yo, I'm done. So I literally I just quit that job today. I feel pretty good about it. I'm pretty tired, but I feel good. Sometimes you just gotta quit. It's not good. It depends on the circumstances. Of course, it's not good to be a quitter, but if there's like if there's already a ceiling, like I could work as hard as I could work really hard, but there's not really any reward. I was working with this other American dude, and he used to. Oh my god, this dude was like he was a good teacher, really good teacher, but oh man, I just would never want to end up like that dude. It's just really sad to see how badly like he's getting ripped off. And I stuck it out for a few months, but I didn't. I never stayed extra, and it just came to a boil today when they tried to call me out about it and say you're gonna have to stay later, and I'm like, yo, I took this job on the condition that I'm gonna I'm gonna be, I have other things going on. I talked about that in the interview. I said, I'll have to leave on time. I won't be able to do overtime. And they were like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not a very heavy workload in this teaching job. The course material. We just need an English teacher to go in and teach the material. There's not much preparation work. It's more of a conversation class. And I was like, yeah, boom, I can do that off, no problem. But yeah, no, the thing in Japan, the thing is they'll really try and rip off foreign people, just because, I guess, just because they can. It's, at the end of the day, there'll be some other idiot that will go in and work for and do all, take on that heavy workload for crap pay, and I'm not that dude. I'm not gonna do that. But I feel that it's a good sometimes it just feels good to just say, "Yo, I'm out. I'm done." Yeah, they look kind of surprised, but I mean, sometimes you just got to do it. If you're not happy doing something, sometimes you just got to make a change. And I just made that change. I was like, "Yo, no, I'm not gonna do this." Like the commute was crazy too. I was spending too much time going there and back. It's too far, but yeah, I recognized that, and I just I bounced out. There was there's pretty much only one thing I miss about I'll miss about that job is most of the classes, I'll be honest, it was a private all boys school, so I'll be real honest, the school didn't have that much character. It's kind of a dead, like kind of a cold. It wasn't didn't have a kind of a there wasn't even that many interesting characters in the classes. They're all kind of boring. Usually I've taught in schools before, and usually there's some characters around the school, that makes the job kind of enjoyable when you're teaching. Like there's some interesting, weird students that are just do weird stuff. And in this school, there was literally only one student that was so funny. It was this there was this 18-year-old autistic kid, and he was some serious character, um, and he was the only interesting person in the school. I have to say, he was the only interest. All these other kids were so, I don't know. It's sad to see. It's like they're brainwashed. Like the Japanese education system takes the life out of people or something. I don't know. It drains it just kills their character. But this kid was super, like, yeah, kind of heavily autistic, but in a good way, in my opinion. I don't know. He didn't understand communication, like how to communicate, like social. He didn't have social skills, but he could speak to anyone. And I don't know, like he could speak to anyone, but he didn't understand what was appropriate and what wasn't appropriate to say. So completely uncontrived, like he would speak in a completely uncontrived manner, and he would say anything. So, but his English, he was a genius. Like, so a lot of these, sometimes autistic people are incredibly smart, and this kid was a genius. But yeah, he didn't understand any social skills. Konbanwa, konbanwa. Yeah, I'm just talking about the school I worked in until today, and then I quit today. So, but yeah, there was only one kid that was interesting, and he was actually, yeah, he was 18 years old, but yeah, he would just come in and in Japan, like I've said before, the level of English is so bad. But this kid was like super, he understood like internet English. You could tell he was on like on internet forums, and he played video games because he knew slang and stuff. Um, it was amazing. But he would come into the the office and start like talking about. One day he came in and said, this kid was 18, and yeah, he's just like, Mr. Mac, I want to discuss my fetishism. I really like girls' legs, and this is right in the middle of the staff room. But he would do stuff like this every day, and he wouldn't, just. But that was the only one thing. But he made the job slightly enjoyable. But I don't know, these kids that are going to private schools in Japan, they get kind of, I don't know, they just, none of these kids have any kind of interesting lives outside of school. They're all like, it's just school, it's just work, it's just assignments, it's just tests. Like they don't hang out. It's like worlds apart from the way I used to grow up. I mean, yeah, you can say in one way it's a good thing they're getting highly educated. That's part of the reason why Japan is a great country. But then again, it's like, what's the point in being alive? I don't know. You're just a cog in a wheel. All these kids are just cogs in a wheel, like part of a system. They don't experience. I experience like crazy. when I was a teenager, I was hanging out with friends after school. I was skating. I used to rollerblade. We used to hang out. We used to get up to no good. We used to like, we'd smoke weed. We drink. It was fun. It was. That's I don't know. That's I'm not encourage. It's obviously not encouraging like teenagers to do like drugs and drink, but in a way, it is part of being a teenager. Just experimenting, getting in trouble, and doing wild stuff. But yeah, that really doesn't really exist in Japan. I don't know. These kids are so well behaved. Yeah, of course it's good in one way, but it's also weird. I'm just saying that because I'm saying the school didn't really have any character. I mean, the kids didn't really have any character. They were just kind of boring kids. They wouldn't even, they wouldn't really even. I don't know. They just wouldn't even ask interesting questions, and it wasn't because they didn't they couldn't speak English. Some of them had really good English, but even in Japanese, I'd be like, sometimes if the kid can't speak freely, I'd be like, yo, Nihongo de muy, Japanese is okay. You can tell me in Japanese, and they just stand there. But anyway, that's it. I basically ranting on about that, but I feel sometimes, like I said, you just gotta if you're not enjoying something, you just gotta like bite the bullet and like quit it and like do something else, like search for something else because if you keep doing something you don't like, it's just you're not gonna be able to give your best, and what's the point? We only get one shot. But so this episode I wanted to talk about not being the nice guy. Honestly, it's kind of stereotypical. Everyone everyone talks about nice guys finish last and stuff like that, but it can't really be talked about enough, I think. But Play on World says look for a new job soon. Well, I already have, like, I have another job. Um, so, I had two jobs actually. So that's the reason I could actually quit. But, um, it's all good. I'll probably get another job. I might not because I have another job. We'll see. Um, but yeah, I just if you're if you're commuting too much, I was commuting too much, and that's like cancer. I don't know if you're commuting more than 2 hours, like there and back was more about 3 hours. That's way too much. So I was like, yo, I'm done. This is not for me. But but yeah, feels good. I feel like a new start today. I felt so good just walking out of the school. I was like, yo, yeah, I just like honestly, it's really weird. Like I'm such like in a way like me in Japan. It feels like I slipped through the nets. People used to say say I had a friend up in when I first came to Japan, and we always hung out and we would talk, and we were always like, how do we we used to teach in we were part of something called the Japanese exchange program. It's a government run program. It's where foreign teachers come over to Japan, and or not even teachers, foreign people come over to teach English in Japan. Japanese exchange teaching program, and we just used to joke around saying like, how did we're the ones who slipped through the nets. Like, we shouldn't have gotten this job. Just, I mean, I consider myself a good teacher, but it's just that we're not, we don't fit in like in the school environment. In a Japanese school, I really like, you know, I gotta be honest, like there's some serious dorks. Like, I mean, and we're talking next level kind of dorks. Japanese teachers are like polar opposite to what I am as as a person. Like they're really dorky, really, it's just if they knew what I what I got up to, if they knew the kind of life I lived, it would just they'd think I'm a gangster, they think I'm a criminal. It's really like not a place. you know, it's it's just so opposite. If I could show you some of the teachers that I used to work with, they're such nerds. I mean, next level nerds. So it was kind of it's just a really strange. It's just always a strange that I'm amongst them, really. Um, just because they would never do what I do. They wouldn't like be playing, or they wouldn't ever. They're just so upstanding, and just like I don't know, their conversations are just very milk toast. They would never talk about anything interesting. You know, there have been one or two over the years that I have been teaching in Japan where I have met one or two cool teachers, but I'm talking one or two out of the whole time I've been here. It's a very rare thing. I got to be honest. Um, yeah, so that's that. But yeah, I just kind of got sidetracked talking about yeah, Japanese education system. But yeah, these Japanese teachers would probably be considered like nice guys. Yeah, so this episode I wanted to talk about nice guys and what how much of a basically I saw a tweet today, and it really just thought I would make an episode about why you should never be a nice guy, because I'll just maybe share the screen and read out the tweet. Let's see. Where is it at? Okay. Share screen. Chrome tab. All right. So, yeah, I saw this tweet, and it was, I think Sensei Abu American tweeted it. He says, "I highly doubt this account is female, but if it is, it's 100%." So the tweet reads, "Women don't want a good man until they are damaged. Good guys are never an option until a woman is tired of being played. Until she has kids with a guy that doesn't want anything to do with her. Until she is getting old. Until she wants a stepfather for her child. Until she wants a husband. Early in life, most women choose the wrong guys, and then after those guys spit them out, now they want a good man. The same good man they thought was boring, the same good man they didn't want to talk to. Understand something. The whole phase is real. If a woman is still going through that, you as a good man will never touch her. You will only touch her after, and that can be 10 years later. Good guys deal with damaged women. Bad guys get the best years. That's really, really important. Bad guys get the best years. We're talking 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. These are women's best years. Like they are. Like I mean, you can argue, you can say, oh, I think women at 27 are the best. No, physically, women, physically, everything, in my opinion, not physically. No, I think in all regards, women are at their best when they're young, and they're not jaded. They haven't become bitchy about things. They haven't gotten, all strung up about, this, that, and the other. They're more innocent. Not that I'm attracted to innocence, but it's more the naivety, the more just their thirst for life. They're more positive. It's not even that they're innocent. You can have naughty, bad girls that are, young, but they're still fun to be around. 21-year-olds, they're not necessarily innocent, even when it comes to sex, but they're more positive. When they get older, when they're up around 29, they'll start to they'll start to get that that bitchy phase. They'll start to get. They'll always have an agenda. They'll be going on interviews instead of dates. Um. So yeah. Where did I leave off? Yeah. So the whole phase is real. If a woman is still going through that, you as a man will never touch her. You will only touch her after that, and that can be 10 years later. Good guys deal with damaged women. Bad guys get the best years. Good guys deal with women with insecurities, women with trauma, women with anger, women with babies. That's pretty legit tweet. That was very very on point. Very, very on point. Miguel in the house. Yo, yo, yo. What is good? Um, so yeah, I just wanted to share that. That kind of made me want to talk about why you never want to be the nice guy, because this is so true. Like every time, it's just 100% facts. Like everything she wrote down here is 100% true. Like when you're on dating apps and you see 28, 29, 30, any age, it could be any age, but when they're talking about no one night stands, no, only serious relationships, that immediately tells you that they have already been ran through, that they've already given away all that free stuff, all that good stuff for free to other guys. For you, you're not allowed to get that. You have to take her on 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Who knows? Like if she gets real entitled, she could drag it out for 10. I mean, some guys will do that. Some guys, they've just no idea. They have no idea. Um, but it's funny. It's funny because even though they're saying that on their profiles, no one night stands, only serious relationships, only serious guys, not looking for hookups. That just immediately screams out that she has already done that, 100%, because she's getting tired of that, and it's definitely more true when they're older, when they're when they're close to hitting the wall, or some girls might have a little bit of a little bit of sense, a little bit, they'll understand. It's called the epiphany phase, when they realize that the wall is approaching. So they're kind of desperately in that scramble phase, where they're trying to do as many. I like to call them interviews, because these kind of girls, they're interviewing to try and get a lock down a guy. And so understand try and understand when a girl is trying to interview you, and when a girl is trying to go on a date. um it's just see, it's always better to try and get the younger women. It's just less hassle. um you're basically just going to be able to get laid easier. The only thing is, to get the younger women, you really have to put in the effort, because although it's going to be easier to smash the younger chicks, and obviously more pleasurable, more fun, they're kind of there's higher demand on younger chicks. There's much higher demand. The young chicks, a 21-year-old chick on a dating app will have like a 99% match rate. She'll match with every single guy. So she's just flooded, like inundated with guys. Like she has like unbelievable selection. So it's just and the guys that she would match with, The guys that she would go on dates with, she would probably bang most of those guys. Um, whenever I go on dates with girls that are under 25, um, it's just very very straightforward. It's not There's not a huge amount of difficulty. There's not a huge amount of shit tests that are thrown my way. Um, but with the older girls, it's just funny. I've talked about this before, but it's like, when a girl gets into her epiphany phase, even though she's less valuable physically, her SMV is much less valuable than it was when she was 21. She's making more rules for intimacy than she did when she was way more valuable. So now that her value has significantly decreased and she's in the epiphany phase, or closing in on the wall, she's making up all these rules. Things have gotten so strange. Like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Maybe all this technology and stuff it's so unnatural. Um, in a way, I don't know. I guess it's not unnatural since it's made by humans, but it's definitely skewing up the normal balance of things. I guess in nature, when things become unbalanced, it tends to, populations of animals, if there's a scarcity of food, if there's something becomes unbalanced, it completely messes up the population, and the population can collapse then. But I don't know, who knows what kind of effects, like long-term effects, this kind of technology, dating apps, is going to have on the human race. you know Play on says, Mac, do you use the spotlight feature in Bumble? I don't even know what the spotlight. I don't even think I've used it. The spotlight feature. Let me check that. Yeah, I haven't. I don't even think I have used it. No, I don't think I've used it. What is the spot? I should know what the spotlight feature is, but like I said, Bumble. Yeah, Bumble's just. I have so many matches. I've converted so many chicks to Line, to my other messaging apps, that I'm just like, I'm already like, I'm letting I've even like, when they message you, and you on Bumble, when they message you, you have to message them back, or else they fade out. And I've had so many matches that, like, my matches are like fading out. You know, um, let's see. Yeah, so yeah, the matches are like fading out because I just haven't been bothered. I don't have, like, that's how yeah, good it's been. I guess I just need to get them. Even I've gotten a lot of chicks over to my other messaging apps, and I've even kind of been putting them on the back burner because just being, kind of jaded with it all. It's just when it's so good, it's, like, I've been doing this for years. Like, I've been like, I've just had such a run of hot chicks for so long, but I'll never get tired of it, ever. Like, if you're getting tired of smashing hot chicks, then there's something wrong with you. You want to work on your physical condition or whatever, because it's not healthy not to be. It's not to be. It's not healthy not to want to smash, not to want to be sexually active with hot women. But sometimes I get jaded with the process. It's just like, oh, you have to do this process. I'm so familiar with it. And that's a good thing because I know how to do it. But I mean, you it's just, if it's the same process, you kind of get bored of it. That's why I'll probably go back doing way more day games soon, because it's just like, if it becomes this if a process becomes too familiar, you want to mix it up a bit. Um, do you get a do you get a lot of young girls under 25 matching? I don't get a lot, but I get ones. I get it's mostly yeah, it's mostly over 25, but I've been getting some really hot ones under 25. Um, like I've already talked about last weekend when I had 18 and 21-year-old. So that was a good time. So you know, it's almost like when I match with a girl that's over 25, it's like it's boring. I don't feel like any. I don't. It's like okay, it's low hanging fruit. It's nothing like. But if they're like under 25, okay, that's something. Yeah, that's just the way the male brain works. And you get nice guy. That's the thing a nice guy would do. He'd be like, no, no, no. I think all women are beautiful. No matter age, age doesn't matter. Such a nice guy. That's such a nice guy thing to do. No, no, no. The young girls are the hottest. Um, yeah. Miguel says the back to backs. Yeah, the back to backs. That's usually I like to spread them out. I prefer to not have them on the same day because it's kind of you want to give like the encounter. Let's call it the encounter. Your full effort, but that was seriously, even though it was like back to back with these girls, there was no, they were so hot that there was no such attraction that wasn't there was no problem with performance. Let's just say. um yeah, but it's sometimes it's better. I would have preferred to have them on different days, but I'm not going to turn down back to back. Brent is in the house. What is up, Brent? What is good? um yeah, we're just talking about how not to be a nice guy. uh it's just I often see it. I mean, I have nice guy friends back home in Ireland that would they're still playing the nice guy game. And honestly, none of them have hot girlfriends, or none of them are able to sleep around or be a player because they're trapped in that nice guy blue pill mindset. And honestly, I get like a lot of anytime I talk to some people I haven't seen in a long time, and I tell them about the lifestyle I have out here in Japan. They get a lot of them get very passive aggressive, and these aren't people I would consider friends, but maybe old friends that would be bitter or at the fact that you're able to you know unapologetically live this kind of like player lifestyle when they're stuck in they're kind of trapped in a social situation. They're trapped in a small social circle where it wouldn't be possible for them to live the way I live. It really is. Being a player at the end of the day, it really is. You can learn game wherever, no matter where you're living. But really, like, if you really want to live a player lifestyle, you have to live in an urban, like, built up city. Like, you can't really get away with it in small communities. Like, it's not really viable it's not viable to be like going around smashing. Like, you're gonna run out of people to smash anyway. But that's only one thing. Um, Miguel says they get bitter because they can't do it. They're following the invisible rules. Yeah, that's it. It's down to bitterness, and it's obvious. Like, every man wants to smash hot chicks, hot young chicks. Like, no, if they had a choice, if you give them a choice to choose whether to be, have a girlfriend and just one girlfriend and be with her for the rest of her life, date her, get engaged, marry, have, if they really had a choice, they would choose to be able to live like free, easy lifestyle where they're able to have multiple women, young women. You know what I mean? It's every time, even it, and some people will, it's funny when the guys that will argue that they'll argue just for the sake of arguing. Like they'll say, "Oh no, I just." I used to have a friend. I used to have a friend that said he loved his girlfriend so much that he that he wasn't attracted to other women. I mean, he really said that to me. This was when we were a lot younger, but still, it really made me say, it's like it's so sickening. What a beta thing to say. But he really, he said it to me with a straight face, and I was like, all right, all right, all right, have it your way. And yeah, this was a guy that actually, yeah, he basically he gave up a lot of his best years. He gave up his college years to be with this same girl, and she was an absolute bitch. Oh, she was such a nightmare. He gave up his best years, his college years, and he didn't cheat. He didn't do anything, but he was with this girl, and then a couple of years after graduating college, they broke up. What a waste! What a waste! And I just, it's karma, and he got his karma. He said that to me with a straight face. I love her so much that I'm not attracted to other women. I wouldn't like to get with another woman. I'm like, yeah, that's just like, that's, I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't even like to love someone that much. That's like possessive. That's needy. That's like, no, like I would never want to be like that. I wouldn't want to be that reliant on one person. Why would you do that? Why would you put all your eggs in one basket? But I want to love many, many girls, and life, we only get one shot at this life, and I want to experience the variety that it has to offer. This world has a lot of variety to offer. If we don't all get, taken over by some dictatorship, world kind of dictatorship, which it is increasingly looking like it will. But yeah, it's weird times. But yeah, so I don't know. It's just being a nice guy just really doesn't. And there's a difference between being a good guy and a nice guy. A nice guy is kind of someone who's nice just because they don't have any other choice. It's kind of fake. There's nothing really genuine about it. They're trying to score like brownie points. It's the same. It's the same. It's the same reason people, when someone brown noses someone, when you see someone like excessively idolizing someone or excessively complimenting someone, you call that like brown nosing. This is very similar to the nice guy thing, the nice guy idea. It's so fake. There's nothing. You can clearly see that they're full of shit. You know, they're just trying to fit in. They're trying to be accepted by society. They're trying to not they're trying to not get ostracized. You know, and it's very kind of weak. These same nice guys will stab you in the back, you know, for as soon as they get a chance. They wouldn't stand as toe to toe and confront you, but when you're down, they'll kick you when you're down. The so-called nice guys, you know. These so-called nice guys are the type of guys that will, you know, these are the type. Let's at the end of the day, these are the type of guys that actually, you know, are very, you know, they're the guys that are, you know, that would be kind of deviant. They would, you know, the so-called nice guy that would, these guys are the guys that would get me too, and like probably genuinely me too, because they can't really approach women in an honest and, you know, upfront manner, so they'll have to they use like these kind of slimy, sneaky techniques. Um, you know, I was at let's see, Jason B in the house. Better late than never. That is true. That is true. But you know, I was at a house party with you know, MLD's house party, and there was some Japanese dude there, and there was a girl that clearly had too much to drink, and he was pretending to be the nice guy. Yeah, and I could see he was pretending to help her, to help the chick, and all of a sudden he starts lying down beside this chick that's like had, you know, she was, oh, I think she was passed out, and he starts like trying to, I don't know, I didn't, he was almost looking like he was going to kiss her, and I was, you know, that's when me and MLD and I were like, yo, get the fuck out of here, bro. So we kicked him out. But you know, first of all, you could see him, he was pretending that he was trying to help her, and you know, this is really, honestly, that's the kind of stereotypical kind of nice guy, like pretending. It's like just it's a fake show, you know, pretending that they're gonna, you know, just to get in the girl's pants. They're like pretending to be, oh, I'm different. I'm different from the other guys. You know, you know, I'll save you now. You know, I'm not like those other assholes. You know, um, and if you do go down that road and you you know, you're gonna get left with the leftovers and the scraps and the low hanging fruit. But the thing is, the women know like that, women know the difference. Like, you got to give credit, because these women, that's why you can't be a nice guy. Women know nice guys don't get the girls in their best years. Nice guys don't they don't, you know, they don't get the hot 21-year-olds. They don't get any, they get left out, because girls don't want any part of that, you know. Um and we're, you know, we're not out here trying to be the nice guys. We're like, I think everyone in here is just trying to, you know, get laid. We just want to smash pussy. We just want, you know, to maximize yeah, our potential as dudes, and try and, you know, enjoy our lives as much as possible. We're not looking to, you know, get settled down. I know I'm not, but maybe some guys are. Maybe some guys in here are. I'm not speaking for everyone, but um, I know I'm not trying to settle down yet. Uh, what? Know your worth in the house. What is good? Um, yeah. Brent says the more nice guy programming I remove, the better I do with girls. It's a fact. Like, it's serious. Like, it's unbelievable. I remember one time I got in a fight. There was a bar fight, and a friend. He wasn't even a friend of mine, but he was a guy, an acquaintance, let's just say, and he got punched, and he fell on his knee, and he basically broke his leg, and so I went and jumped in and basically beat the shit out of the guy that hit him, that like sparked him out. I went to town on him. I just grabbed him by the collar and just like laid into him with one hand. Just like, the guy was like in bits. But I wasn't like, it was a, I just jumped. The guy got like mauled, so Anyway, the reason I'm bringing this up is I word got round um to the some, it was in college at the time. It was in my college at the time, and word got round, and some girls that never really recognized me before, never paid attention to me ever, were so all of a sudden coming up to me in, like approaching me like in the most unbelievably blatantly flirtatious manner. I'm talking about like even not even that, during the daytime, like it's crazy. Like blushing, like smiling at me and blushing, like just they, only over word of mouth. They heard that I beat up some guy, or I helped a guy that got his leg broke. Um, that was also in my college. Uh, and just through word of mouth that I was, that I beat up some dude. Um, just through that, just shows that girls don't want some like soft guy. Um, I've had, I've heard stories where girls, if girls are really brutally honest, they will say like if they saw their boyfriend getting beat up, they would lose a huge amount of attraction for the for their boyfriend, or like, or it could like it would probably, it might end a relationship. That's the harsh, like that's the harsh reality in nature. Um, if you really, yeah, like if you really, view things in a really truthful manner, like chicks will actually, lose a lot of attraction if they see you getting beat up. And it sounds harsh, but it's like that's nature. I mean, in survival of the fittest, it just shows at a primal level. At a primal level, it shows that you can't protect, that you're not able to protect, and that you've kind of been defeated. And in the laws of the jungle, or like, back like thousands and thousands of years ago, if you get beat up by another man, that means that other man is gonna get your woman. Like he's gonna get your wife. He's gonna, do the deed. Let's just say. Um, we talk about, you've all, maybe, I don't know how much you might have heard of like war brides, where women will, they'll get, they're in conflict zones where, apparently this happened in the most recent, the one that I heard a lot about was Syria, where, ISIS moved in and, basically slaughtered, the men of the family, and took the women and children, and the wives pretty much just, I'm sure they didn't have much choice, but it's well documented that women can adjust to, live with a man that, and kind of accept, a man that has, in a war situation, that has killed her husband. It's just kind of the brutal truth, truths that people don't really talk about. And obviously, we live in civilized society where we're not killing each other. Hopefully, we're not at that point yet. But at a like a basic, like peaceful level, it's still, you can just understand if a woman can accept a man, in a war situation, killing her husband, and then her submitting to the man that, killed her husband, and becoming his wife, then in a peaceful society, we're not, this happens in this day and age. We're not even talking, pre different kind of, in a different stage of human evolution. we're talking this actually happens. This happens in dangerous parts of the world, in parts of the world that aren't civilized. But uh, in peaceful cities and in big urban environments, it's the same, but it's just on a peaceful kind of level. You just these women are attracted to strength and guys that are just unapologetic. you know the more masculine you are, the more you're going to be able to attract these chicks. um but I don't know, there's a lot of different philosophies about um how to attract chicks, in saying that it's not only about being masculine. There's other elements to it, and there's a lot of other elements to it, but that's just one way you can attract women. um let's see. Violence and body size are key attraction cues. The capacity to dominate physically turns girls on. Yeah, I mean, the capacity to dominate physically definitely turns girls on. I mean, yeah, and girls are very kind of brutally honest when it comes to the if you they'll say, I just want a nice guy. I just want a guy that treats me well, that buys me flowers, that does this, that, and the other. But look at what they do. Look at what they choose. They choose the tallest guy they can get. Um, physical features are definitely a huge element of attraction for females. And yeah, I don't know. I've I've said this before, but it's also a thing that I noticed, that women are the ones that are far more selective when it comes to race. Women are far more racist than men. Men obviously have a lot of men have their types too. Like some men will be like, "Oh, I don't like Asian women. I don't like black women," or some guys, "I like black women." But most guys are just like, "Oh, I just like hot women." It doesn't matter if they're black, white, Asian, doesn't matter. For I would say the majority of guys. But women, on the other hand, they are way more like, I've heard girls say, they wouldn't date this type, they wouldn't date that race, they wouldn't date this race. I've heard it way too many times for it to be, just some kind of coincidence. It's definitely a thing I've noticed. I don't know why that is, but um, anyway, as a guy, it's not something you should really even care about, because it's not something you can change. You can't change your skin color. You can't change so it's kind of a non point, but it's just something to be aware of. And it's I don't know, females are far more selective for some reason. Um yeah, but it's yeah, it's not something. I mean, even here in Japan, it's like there's some girls that will never touch me with a barge pole. They'll never do it. They'll never, just, I'm a foreigner. I'm not their type. I'm a white guy. And it's funny because everyone thinks it's the opposite. Oh, you're a white guy. You can get girls easier. No, it's actually, no. That's not it at all. So that's like, in some, for a lot of girls, it's a complete disadvantage. And I'm not crying about it, but I'm just saying, uh it's just one of those things. um and it's never, it's not something that I really give a shit about, because what's the point? It's not like you can't change. There's no point in worrying about things that you can't change, but worry about things that you can change. you know and you can definitely change from being a nice guy to being, just a fucking, you know, what's the opposite of a nice guy? I don't. It's not even necessarily a bad guy, but it's like you're not being a nice guy. Um, you're not, you're not trying to do things in a sneaky way just to get female attention. That's what being a nice guy is. Um, you're doing things because you can't do it in a masculine way. You have to use your nice guy tactics. Know Your Worth says muscles and tattoos are also triggers of the must be dangerous. Makes them believe you use violence and attracts girls like moths to a flame. Yeah, muscles and tattoos. Yeah, I mean, it really is. It really is an attraction. It really does attract chicks. Even when I think one of the hot girls MLD interviewed on his stream. I think it was that I don't know I think it was that 19-year-old Toa chick. She was saying that she likes guys with muscles and tattoos, and she's 19 years old and she's super hot, and it's just she would she's being honest because she's I don't know, I mean, she's naive, but a lot of hot girls her age would lie, and I guess they're less likely to lie about it when they're younger, but it's yeah, they're probably definitely less likely to lie about it, but when they get into the epiphany phase, like 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, they are they are definitely going to lie about it. This is when you will you'll start to see them write up and on their profiles, no one night stands, no nothing casual, I'm looking for a relationship, I just want a nice guy. They'll start saying stuff like that. Where are all the nice guys gone? um it's it's just a thing, and the reality is they don't want the nice guy. They still don't want the nice guy, but they kind of realize they'll have to settle for one because they know they won't be able to lock down. Their hindbrain is telling them that they know they won't be able to lock down the alpha dude that is out there and knows his worth. See, the thing is, if a guy knows his worth, if he knows that he's an attractive man and he's able to get women, the women are also very attracted to that. So these women, the reason they say they want nice guys is because they realize that they have to kind of settle. But given the choice, they really don't want to have a nice guy. They'll even if they get the nice guy, they'll be sickened by him and they'll end up getting divorced. Even though they might have a few babies with him, the guy might provide for it, like be a beta provider, and they will, uh, that's it. Um, let's see. Toa is mind-blowingly hot. Yeah, she's a hot girl. And the funny thing is, there's a lot of girls in Japan as hot as her that aren't models. You just see them out and about. It's crazy. It's Japanese women. I don't know. They won some kind of genetic lottery. Because Japanese men really like. I don't know if it's racist to say, but they're really not. You know, they're not that impressive. Like when you look at their, yeah, I mean, I just don't know. They produce very hot women. That's all I'd say. They do produce some very hot women. Um, that's why as weird as it is to say, if say a mixed race couple, a Japanese and a Caucasian, Japanese and white, if it's a white woman and a Japanese father, usually they'll produce a hot female because I don't know, the Japanese look come to Japan, look around. But if it's a white father and a Japanese woman, the offspring will tend to look more Caucasian because they always look kids always tend to look, they come from the father, so they're going to grow up to look like whatever. If I knocked up a Japanese girl, she would the girl or the child would grow up to look like my side of the family because the male genes I think always, you know but it's Toa is definitely very, very hot. But yeah, you got to come to Japan and you got to see that it's there's plenty of Toas around. It's not a rare occurrence to see someone that hot, which is pretty crazy. Um, Riano Keys says, when I was in Korea and Japan, I noticed the guys had the Harry Potter look and did not look very threatening. Yeah, I mean, Japanese guys are, yeah, really not, there's obviously masculine dudes here, but yeah, by and large, you can safely say that, yeah, if you can, if you know how to fight, you come to Japan, there's not many people that are going to be able to beat you up. Let's just put it like that. Obviously, I'm not. There's going to be of course, there's people here that are trained in martial arts and that could kick the crap out of you. But I'm talking about the general population. You walk around. It's a very peaceful country. People are extremely, the dudes are generally very thin and unthreatening, and it's. I mean, it's not a. It's a good thing in my opinion because it's a very safe country. It's not a very violent country. Um, it's you really kind of have to go out of you really have to go out of your way to get in a fight here. I don't even people would probably run away instead of stand and fight. But it's a good thing. Um, yeah, you kind of have to condition yourself to if you stay in Japan and you go to another foreign Western country or any other country, you kind of have to realize that you're not in Japan anymore because Japan is such a safe country. But yeah, that's another topic. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm probably gonna leave it there. But as usual, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be back on Monday with another episode of Player Life. Hit me up. Hit me up with any suggestions if you want me to talk about something. If you want me to talk anything particular about Japan, anything about day game, anything about how I do photography game, let me know. As usual, check out the links in the description. I will catch you guys on Monday. So have a sweet weekend and talk to you then. Peace.